How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody feeling? What do you think of me right now? What assumptions can you make just from my voice? Where do you think I'm from? What my nationality is? How do you think I dress? Or what my personality is like? Do you think I'm tall, dark, and handsome? Well, here I am. Was I who you expected me to be? No. I wish I was tall, dark, and handsome, but I guess this is what I have to work with. I'm very honored to be here today because I've been given the opportunity to be able to talk about how I bring inclusive excellence into my life. I believe that each and every one of us can contribute to a more respectful world by being inclusive on an everyday basis. Do you ever think about the assumptions and stereotypes you make of a person or even a group of people who you've never met? What assumptions did you have of me when you finally knew who I was? Do you think I'm the one that screws up the grade curve in a calculus class because you automatically think I'm good at math? Or were you surprised that I actually spoke English very well? Does my favorite movie involve anything that has Bruce Lee in it? The human mind makes assumptions about everyday things, anything from objects to people to even ideas that come into light. But what makes those stereotypes so dangerous is when they influence the way we interact with people in a negative way. Now, do you ever get to know a person truly? Do you think that we can't because we're too busy doing something? Or is it because people come in and out of your life for a short period of time that it doesn't matter that you get to know them? I was at a fairly fancy restaurant a while back, and a family of four was sitting a couple tables next to me. What really made them stand out to me was the fact that they treated their waitress so poorly, trying to boss her around, telling her to do this, that, get me more napkins, I dropped my utensil, get me another fork. And then once they got their bill, I couldn't help but overhearing them say, "Our waitress was terrible. She doesn't deserve a tip." The waitress was also serving me. So when the family finally left, she was able to come to me and apologize. But I was like, "No, it's fine, don't worry. I know that you're busy, and I'm not in a big rush, so it's not a big problem." So once I got my food and started eating, she began clearing the table of the family that left. She glanced down at the bill, and I just saw her heart drop. On my own bill, I wrote on the back saying, "Don't worry about that family. You did a phenomenal job tonight, and you deserve to be treated better." I put a little smiley face and left the bill on the table. I challenged the fact that she wasn't just my waitress. I saw that she was a hardworking woman and treated her with the same respect as I would have wanted to. If it's common sense to treat somebody who you want to be treated, then why doesn't everybody utilize this common sense? Now, you don't have to have a degree or be the president to be able to be more inclusive in life. Everybody contributes to a more inclusive, respectful, and peaceful world, and it can be done with just the little things in life. But there's more than what meets the eye. It wasn't too long ago when I was walking on campus, and I was with a couple of my friends who happened to be Asian. A car drove by and yelled out, "Hey, go home, you chinks!" How do you think that made us feel? We couldn't do anything because they were in a car driving by. How do you think this assumption affects our campus and the way we interact with each other? Now, I'm not saying that everybody on campus is this way, but it doesn't take the fact that if it happens here, it doesn't happen everywhere else. Now, other than wanting to use my guns for evil, I actually wanted to get to know why they said that. Sounds odd, but true. Now, they could have had a couple experiences and interactions with people who are Asian descent or just looked Asian. And from these bad experiences, they assumed that all Asians were the same way. Shouldn't everybody be able to be judged by their character and not by how they look from the very start? Easier said than done, right? Now, going back to the assumptions you have of me and not having any background or even my name, would you all finally get to know who I am? Yes? My name is Philip Trinh. I was born and raised here in the state of Colorado in the United States. My family came halfway around the world, fleeing Vietnam after the Vietnam War and when the communists finally took over. They sailed, along with 100 other people, they sailed out in the middle of the ocean, hoping for a new place. Unfortunately, they got stranded out in the middle of the ocean for 3 days with little food or water because their boat broke down. Luckily, an American battleship came by, saw them, took everybody on board, and transferred them to a refugee camp. After about a year jumping from different camps, they finally received a sponsor from the States to come here to America in 1982. They were taught the means of navigating the American system, got a small amount of education, taught English, and were shown how to find a job to be self-sufficient. 8 years later, this tall, dark, and handsome guy came into the world. Today, I'm a fourth year here at the University of Denver, graduating this June with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering. English is actually my second language. My favorite movie doesn't involve Bruce Lee, but actually involves superheroes. Hence why I put my alias as Mega Man, a video game character, and I'm a mama's boy. I dance. I laugh. I live. I'm proud of every single identity I have, just because those are the factors that contribute to who I am, not the assumptions, labels, and stereotypes that people have on me. Challenge your everyday assumptions in your interactions and get to know people. Being inclusive on an everyday basis can change the world, and that's a change that each and every one of us can make. And all starts with you.